Yo, what's going on, guys? This is JP for Naughty MMOs, and today we're going to be looking at Dungeons and Dragons Online Eberron Unlimited, which is actually the newest expansion. It is a 3D fantasy MMORPG based on the classic D&D tabletop role-playing game originally released as a subscription-based game, but has now come to the free-to-play market. Classes that you can actually pick are between the different races, skills, feats, and basically head off into the legendary city, which is where we're going to show you here in a second. But all the different races are human, elf, halfling, dwarf, warforged, and drown elf. Now those two, you obviously have to have a subscription in order to actually have those. There is also the melee class, the spellcaster class, the specialist class, pardon me. And here we go for the melee. You have got basically fighter, barbarian, paladin, but if you want to be a monk, that is a premium currency. You will have to get a subscription for that. Spellcaster class includes sorcerer, cleric, wizard, and favored soul. Favored soul is the premium currency again. And in the specialist class you have ranger, rogue, and bard. We're going to go ahead and be obviously a specialist class today. I believe we picked bard, I'm not 100% sure, or a rogue actually. But as you can see here in the character customization, you can actually customize your hair, your color, your eyebrows color, your eye color, your nose, your lips, facial hair, and skin. Now, it's fairly interesting. It's not a lot, but it is fairly interesting in itself. Now, as your name, when you pick your name, you can have a first and a last name. Not a lot of MMORPGs or even MMOs, for that matter, actually do that. So I think that's a little bit interesting in and of itself. Now, when you download the game, you have two different file sizes. You can download it in 2.8 gigs, which is your standard resolution, and your 3.8 gigs, which is your high definition resolution. Now, if you want to create a character, you make sure that you keep this in mind, that you can only create actually 2 characters at any given time, unless you'd like to buy an account. When you buy an account, you have bought a subscription to the game itself. But anyways, let's go ahead and get things started here. Now, I will let you know that this is a fairly high player-based game. When we're playing, I won't actually see anybody because we stay in the tutorial area and we actually do the first instance. Now, this game is actually published by Turbine Entertainment. Graphics are high quality graphics. I like the fact that they have the voice-over acting, which is actually very interesting. You're going to see that once we get into the game itself. And I think it's actually quite unique. And yeah, so that's basically that. But anyways, Dungeons and Dragons is actually the latestly formally, as we already told you before, it is actually a pay-to-play game.
Oi, you ain't
And there's some of
dead,
the
are you?
voice acting there, as you can see. But again, they've just switched over
Can you
to the
talk?
free-to-play
Speak
market.
to me.
This game, I actually picked this to be one of my top 10 games for 2011. That doesn't necessarily mean that this game came out in 2011, but it is a
Follow
game
me.
that I think deserves to be in there. If you haven't had a chance to see
This
my
way?
top 10 picks, make sure you go ahead
Follow
and
me.
check that out. Go on over and check out my channel. But anyways, let's get back into the game.
The camp's up
So
here.
I'm just actually the first time actually playing this, and I'm just trying to get familiar with the WASD. You can't click to do anything. When you click, if you
This
actually
way?
left click,
Follow me.
you actually attack. So that's a very interesting system that they have there. Right clicking doesn't do anything except for pan the
Here we
camera
are.
around.
So you want a weapon or
But
not?
here we go. This guy actually gives you your starting weapon to start off, and I think that's fairly interesting. So it's not too bad. But I figured because I was getting some frame rate issues, I'm going to go ahead and actually switch it down there to medium. And you'll see here, even on medium with DirectX 9, you will obviously see here that the graphics are still really, really good. And I like that. So, so if we get into it, really, if you look at the geography to the game, it uses the D&D 3.5 rule set, such as Neverwinter Nights, which is one of the other expansions. In combat, Dungeons and Dragons is a fast-paced game. It does feel very, very fast-paced because of the fact that you have to click your mouse every single time you want to attack. I didn't really get a chance to really go with anything else. I did want to switch up my weapons just to see if I could. But the game is fairly interesting. It does have a lot of portals heading over to different areas and whatever it may be, just like the Guild Wars system. It's very, very similar to the Guild Wars system where players can interact freely in town, but all over areas are instances, are dungeons, and so that's basically why we don't see anybody, because when we start off, we're actually going to be heading into our first instance. And I think that that's going to be fairly interesting. I think you guys are going to be able to see a little bit about the game. I don't show you a lot about the game, but again, this is one of those games you really have to just try it out for yourself, and basically that's going to be it. But I run across Dungeons & Dragons in a comic book shop. I'll tell you this little story here. I remember actually playing Dungeons & Dragons, and I don't know if you guys know about the comic book stores where they have this actual game itself. I figured I'd check it out to see if there was an actual game online called Dungeons & Dragons, and lo and behold, there you go. And that's just the way it is. So, but Dungeons & Dragons was actually originally released again, as I told you before, as a subscription-based game. It was about $15 a month to access the game. But now it is actually turned over to the free-to-play engine, where this is very, very comparable to World of Warcraft with the whole $15 a month subscription fee. I think that this game here has a little bit less than your World of Warcraft, but it is a very, very in-depth game. There is some pretty hardcore players out there that think that this game deserves to be better than World of Warcraft. I'd be very interested to know what you guys think in the comment section below. But let's go ahead and see here. Now, this is another one of those games where you have to basically read, and you guys know me for not reading. I just basically say, okay, come on, give me a quest, let's go, let's do what we gotta do.
This effect will wear off when you leave these.
And there you go. There's the
now, let's be about it.
The voiceovers that I was telling you guys about. I really like the fact that there is a lot of different voiceovers. The real-time combat where you have to basically click. I think that that's very interesting with the whole melee attack and how they do that. And I really like the fact that they have the voiceover acting. I think that all games should have something similar to that. I think it definitely makes for a more in-depth game. But again, it is a very good and interesting game. I think that the PvP system within this game definitely is very interesting. It's a dueling and arena system. The XP system is very, very slow, so you may feel like it's a very, very repetitive game where you are constantly grinding on these mobs. And it may feel like you're taking literally years upon years upon years before you ever get a level. I actually don't think I even leveled up throughout this entire 15 minutes of playing.
Good job.
So that tells you right there that
we come to assist you.
It's going to take a while to
Salimus
level up within the game.
For putting in the good work. Don't you worry, Salimus. I'm here to watch your
But the maximum level that you can actually get in the game is actually 20. It sounds low, but again, you have to really grind and grind and grind before you actually get any levels. I mean, it does take a very, very long time. I believe that you start off at only getting up to level 20. I think that's the highest level you can actually get. If anybody would like to correct me on that, I'd be more than happy to indulge you on that. I'm pretty sure that it is actually only level 20 is the max level. But there you go. Besides challenging one another to duels, players can participate in all-out brawls in local taverns. So it's like a free-for-all PvE environment where you can actually attack anybody that you see. Even with these features, Dungeons & Dragons Online is not a PvP game. I mean, yes and no, it is a PvP game, but it's not based on that. This game's really not looking at the whole PvP element of the game. So if you're looking for a PvP game, this is definitely not going to be the game for you. But if you're looking for a grindy game where you have to do quests and killing mobs and getting very, very little experience for it, then this is definitely the game for you. Why did I pick this game to be in my top 10? Well, I believe that this game definitely has a huge potential. It is one of a lot of people actually do play this game, and I think that it definitely deserves to be in there. So I think that Dungeons & Dragons is a high-quality game with plenty of content to explore. The game has done a wonderful job converting the classic tabletop role-playing game, if you guys remember that, into a virtual world. Narrating, storytelling, which you guys can hear. There's lots of narrating going on. Hundreds of instances, and comprehensive character creation section. And I think that D&D, or Dungeons and Dragons, or DDO, as some people like to call it, I think that you guys definitely need to try this game out. And I'd be very, very interested to know what you guys think about this game. But I'm going to go ahead and let this play out, and you guys can... basically, we'll just go from there. So, yeah, hey guys, until next time, this has been JP for Naughty MMOs. Let me know what you guys think about this review. Let me know what you guys think that I could do differently. And I'd love to see all your comments. A like always helps promote this video. A favorite definitely is very appreciative. And I guess we'll just go from there, guys. So until next time, this has been JP for Naughty MMOs. And you guys have just watched Dungeons and Dragons Online by Turbine Entertainment, a 3D fantasy MMORPG based on the classic tabletop game converted into a 3D environment game. Anyways, guys, till next time, I'll talk to you later. Thanks.
If you're done resting, go and scout ahead with Jeets.
It was no match for yours, truly. You can open the door now.
You two having fun? It's time for us to go. The High Priestess should be up ahead. The onus for much suffering rests squarely upon her slimy, webbed hands. There she is, performing some kind of profane blood magic.
I will open the door. Prepare yourself. Ready? Go! You handled yourself quite well.
According to our employer, there's a secret passage around here somewhere leading to Korthos. You boys look for it. I must cleanse the profane energies around the shrine. Round the shrine.
Let Selimus do her thing. You and I'll take care of the important stuff. The treasure. My rogue senses are tingling. There's something fishy in this
You
room.
feel a stiff
Try
draft
searching
from
around.
somewhere in this room. Perhaps the hidden passage to the village is in here.